Welcome back to another episode of Secrets They Don't Tell You. We are doing a mod spotlight of pretty much the most useful mod ever, Reincarnate the Dead. But there was a remake, Reincarnate the Dead as Descendants. This mod is so important. Obviously you could just use this mod, it just brings back the DNA of the person, and it's a very simple version. But this version here, wow, I'm going to show you right here. Let me load the game while I show you. 1 second. So, oh no, yes, thank God. Okay, so Reincarnate the Dead as Descendants, mod revival. Let me tell you. So, how it works is, you pick a person in your family tree and you can reincarnate them, but you become their child. Okay, we're back. The game loaded. Let's go and I'll showcase this mod to you, how amazing it is. We're gonna go over to a world where Rhaegar is alive, Eddard Stark, all of that stuff. What we're gonna do, as I always play as Rhaegar, as Eddard Stark, just for a second so I can show you the power of this mod. We're gonna press start, load into a world where the Mad King has just burnt Eddard Stark's family, his father and his brother, and we're gonna change the history, and we're going to roleplay that Brandon Stark never died, or he hasn't died yet. He's in front of the Mad King and Jaime kills the Mad King before he burns Brandon Stark, something like that. Anyway, we're just going to spawn Brandon Stark after death, the official Brandon Stark, not just his DNA, but him, the character related to Eddard Stark. Amazing. So Brandon is gone. My father is gone. Brandon is gone. The Mad King, my sister, is in Prince Rhaegar's hands. However, Brandon Stark is not gone. This is how we do it. We go to the Stark dynasty. We go to living members. We go to the filters toggle. We go to alive status, and we go to dead. We go to find Brandon. There's about 1,000 Brandons, so what we can do is go and find the Brandon that we want. We can go prowess, and here he is, Mr. Brandon Stark, your brother. We're going to reincarnate Brandon Stark as an adult, as a male. Follow the recipe, and there we go. Our nephew. That is the thing. So this mod allows you to spawn in a kid of Brandon Stark. You know what that means? That means we can have part of my house. He won't be my son. He is Brandon Stark's son. Not only is he Brandon Stark's son, he's also Brandon Stark's DNA. He's Brandon Stark's DNA. So if I get rid of this beard, he's going to slowly look more and more like Brandon Stark. So there you go. Brandon Stark, son. Now, for roleplay, you can either make this the official Brandon Stark, or you can do something amazing. So we're gonna turn on interactions. I have the Divine Intervention cheat menu available for this. This pin character, and what we could do is roleplay that before Brandon Stark died, he had a little visit to Starfall, or that party that everybody knows about, and he saw one woman, one of the most beautiful women in the realm, Ashera Dane. We're gonna pin her. We're going to pin Illyria Dane. 0. Just born. Diplomacy. We're going to go Illyria Dane. Brandon Stark. No, we're going to do Brandon Stark, Illyria Dane. Now watch this. We go to family. We go to make siblings. Illyria Dane is now officially Brandon Stark's daughter. Brandon Stark's daughter. And then we go over to Ashera Dane, go to sibling, and we go all the way over here, and we add her as an adopted. Now, we have just redone the history, and we have made Illyria Dane Brandon Stark's daughter. We have changed the code. Illyria Dane is officially Ashera Dane's and Brandon Stark's daughter. The true heir to the north, if you think about it, because there's, you know, well, how it works is the male heir is obviously in line, so, you know, Eddard Stark, Illyria Dane. Now, how can we make Brandon Stark the real Brandon Stark? So what we can do is pin this Brandon Stark, the reincarnated version of him. It will say reincarnation. We can go to diplomacy, and we can find Eddard Stark and pin Eddard Stark as well. His armor looks nuts, by the way. Let's go Eddard Stark, primary character. Secondary character, Brandon Stark. And then we go to make sure that Brandon Stark is older than Eddard Stark, otherwise it will mess up on the list. So 24. It was 1 year ago, so he's 24. Let's just say 24, and make siblings. We're going to see here the child is going to disappear and he's going to become a brother. Ready? Sibling. Now, Brandon Stark is officially a brother of Eddard Stark. And now we have the true heir to the throne, Brandon Stark. Alive, well, and playable. He is in front of the Mad King, not burnt yet. Okay, so we have the official Brandon Stark with his DNA, all of that stuff in the game. However, the real Brandon Stark, the official model, is still here, and we have Illyria Dane as the daughter. We can then adopt, and then it will be the same story, you know what I mean? But obviously Brandon Stark is alive. However, role playing makes more sense that we go here, go here, and then we go to Brandon Stark and we make him younger, and then we adopt him from Eddard Stark. We adopt him. Now he's Brandon Stark's son and brother. Madness. We're going to do some Targaryen stuff and remove and disown, and then we're going to delete him from the game. And now we have added Illyria Dane as Eddard Stark's niece, and then we can roleplay the Ashera Dane. You know, you can even do something like this where you make Illyria Dane and Beric Dane the real father, set real father. You can do that, but that has to be with someone that's alive. So you can do Beric Dane, Illyria, and then you can do set real father, or is it the other way around? Illyria Dane and Beric Dane, set real father. So that he'll be the hidden father. So if you had a character that was alive, Illyria Dane would be known as Brandon Stark's daughter in the realm, but the code will hide that it is the real father's. Beric will be the real father. So long story short, we would have father, but he's not the real father. If you had an alive character, you could do that. What you could do here is something so cool. We could do Eddard Stark in place of So watch this. We could do Eddard Stark here. Set real father. Now Illyria Dane. That day that Brandon Stark came over and saved Eddard was more than just that. She is known as Brandon Stark's daughter. But if you go over here and we see the debug mode, the real father is you, and I'm obviously Eddard Stark. So that's a madness. Let me just change to John Arryn, Eddard Stark, Brandon Stark, Illyria Dane, debug mode. The real father is Eddard Stark. So that's one thing that you could do with this mod. How amazing. We just made a whole roleplay here. And then if you go over to Rhaegar, what we could do, let's go to a world where Rhaegar's dead. Rhaegar Targaryen. Here we go. So Rhaegar is dead. Viserys is alive. Sorry, I said his name wrong. Viserys is alive. Daenerys is alive. They're hiding in Braavos. And we have a real opportunity here to rewrite history. So in my opinion, Rhaegar was never at the Trident. How do we do this? We can go filter, dead, status, and we can go to learning and find Rhaegar Targaryen. So Rhaegar Targaryen here, we can do adult. If we do a baby, we can make him Aegon Targaryen. So let's do baby first, so we can use as an example. Baby. Follow the recipe. It was a good lesson. His name will be Rhaegar. His DNA will be Rhaegar, but he is a child of Rhaegar. Look, so Rhaenys, Aegon, Rhaegar. He will be Targaryen. So the only thing is, because Elia is dead as well, we can't have Elia be the mother, sorry. So right now we're going to have a different way. We can spawn in an Elia clone as well. We can spawn in someone from Elia, and we can spawn in Elia basically. And let's spawn in Elia and I'll show you. So there she is. Spawn Elia, adult, female, follow the recipe. She is there. So this is Elia, numerous Martel, and then so we have Elia back in the game, and we have Rhaegar as a child in the game. So what can we do? We can make them siblings. So where's Elia? So Elia's mother is the real Elia. Here we go. And we could even, I got an idea, so watch this. So we're going to do Elia and Rhaegar family and make siblings. So watch this. We need to make sure that we have Rhaegar here. This is Aegon. We're going to recreate Aegon Targaryen here, yeah? So we're going to go make siblings now. She's here. And we have Elia Martell, who can be a reincarnation, or it could be Rhaenys basically. So we can have Rhaegar and Elia be these two playable. Okay, so let's focus on Aegon. We've got Aegon. He's here. His father is Rhaegar and his mother is Elia. And yeah, so long story short, we are going to change his name to Aegon Targaryen. 6th of his name, or 8th of his name, or 28th of his name, whatever it is. Aegon. There we go. And then we can play as Aegon and Rhaenys. Yeah. Niece. There you go. There's no E there. Sorry about that. There's no E. There we go. Rhaenys. There we go. So Rhaenys. Let's do. They are alive. Aegon Targaryen, Rhaegar's official son, never died by the mountain. never died from the mountain, was murdered, and never died by armory. Yep. So there you go. The mod is insane. You can roleplay that, or you can, you know, you can go straight here, and let's say we want it to be Rhaegar, we could just go here, and we can just get Viserys here, and pin Viserys first. Aegon, make siblings. Now we have here, we need to make him a certain age. Let's do 25. 25. I hate that beard. Damn, that is the worst beard ever. Let's do, there we go, we got Rhaegar. It's 27, that's too old. Let's do 25. So now Rhaegar is here. We can do make heir, designate heir, and then we can do abdicate. There we go. There we go, and we got Rhaegar. He's right here. And then we change his name back to Rhaegar. And then we can roleplay as Rhaegar Targaryen. Never went to the Trident and is coming for your ass, Rabbit. Yeah, so that mod is absolutely insane. So good. So good for role playing, for everything. We've got Rhaegar Targaryen back in the game. The only thing is it won't be the official Rhaegar. It's just like a placeholder and you can role play as that. But yeah, this video is over. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, like if you want to see me role play this world, let me know and we can do that. We can do it. Thank you for watching. Go check out the mod. Thank you. Bye.